All right, gang. Let's recap what we learned from last night. Those little $39 tents work really well. Tick bag mattresses are a thing and they do work. The kids were comfy cozy. I can restart a fire from nothing. I can't stop shaking, but I can restart a fire. But what else did we learn? Go through your checklist. We got out here last night and had no silverware. So we ended up with, the kids had, we just traded off. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but it was an inconvenience is what it was. Tent pegs. Of course, the tent over here, it came with everything we needed, but me, not so much. You saw my earlier videos, you saw my improvised sleep system, which was, it was something. But I've got some electric fence posts over there, which are going to serve double duty as tent stakes. I'm going to build some kind of a shelter out of this thing today. I'm not real sure what kind yet. I mean, I got some trees and stuff. You can see I got one there. It'd be a great place to put a hammock, but kind of a crappy place to do anything else. I got some rock outcroppings over here I could do something with. I'm sure I'll come up with something. I'm probably going to try to just do something like an improvised, almost like a lean-to, but minimalist. Something small to keep the heatings. You don't need it huge. I mean, the two kids were in this little tent and they slept snug as bugs and rugs. This is just one person. You don't need a huge shelter. I mean, you just don't. Let's see, what else did I forget that I'm thankful I had something laying in the truck I could finagle. Can't remember what it was now, but there was one thing I did notice with my kit. Here's a little something for you to ponder. Let me get my saw out here. Yeah, this is kind of more of a talky video than a looky video, but we're going to make you look anyway. All right, there's see, it's made by JobSmart. I don't even know where I ever got this thing from, but it folds out and you got a little saw there and it locks in place, a couple different positions. You got a little knife in here. Knife out. Little razor knife type deal. Not bad little deal. I will forewarn you. That's a 10 TPI saw, 10-tooth saw. It's made for cutting wood. And it does an admirable job of that, except for the fact that it takes for freaking ever. If you're going to set up a saw, make sure the thing's got some aggressive teeth on it, unless you're planning on, cutting rock maple or something, which isn't likely, but you could. Make sure you got a good blade in there and make sure it's not too fine. This one, I had a finer tooth blade and I didn't bring it. Figured 10 tooth would be fine. Oh, look. Looky. My tea's a percolating. She's warm. Woohoo. Let's set that. Oh, god damn. She's a little hot. She's a little warm. Whew. That about took meat off my fingers. Sorry about the language here, guys. But there we go. I can't think of anything else. I mean, actually, for all intents and purposes, for the first night of the kids being out here and, for anything that could go wrong, did go wrong, and at the worst possible times, we didn't have a bad night. So hopefully tonight we can actually improve on our living arrangements here and make something really kind of cozy for the second night. But that's our plan for today. The kids must be having a blast because Pep-Pop Troy's not back with them yet. So they probably went to IHOP or somewhere for breakfast. He's enjoying his time with them. He doesn't have any family of his own, so he kind of has surrogate grandkids with ours, and the kids love him to death, so hey, I'm okay with it. So that's what we're doing today. It's Friday. I'm the village idiot, couldn't read a schedule, drove 50 miles into work only to find out that there was nothing for me to drive. Oops. These things happen. So we're going to move on to, I got my hot tea now. I can sit down, have me a little sip of tea, and we'll move on with the day. But just wanted to give you a little quick recap there. And thanks to everybody that, has been following along. My editing skills obviously suck. And I don't really have editing software or an app on my phone yet. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get to that point. But for now, we're just kind of doing it off the cuff, rough and tumble. So, hey, we appreciate you sticking around to see what other foolishness I can get into. Oh, like I said, the saw blade and a camp axe. I've got my little hand adze over there, and this thing's older than, it's far side, probably twice as old as I am. Good and sharp, but it's an adze. It's not made for, it's made for cutting shingles. It ain't made for, chopping wood. So just make sure, go run through your checklist twice before you come out to the woods, because when you get out here, excuse me, got smoke in my eyes. Yeah, buddy. You get out here, that's when you'll find, figure out all the stuff that you need, you didn't bring, and now you got to try to improvise it. And I mean, that's one thing if you're in a survival situation or oh crap scenario. But when you're just out here trying to have a good time and enjoy the wilderness a little bit, or at least the outdoors, just make sure you plan ahead a little better than I did. Hey, we'll talk to you later.